every talk, in every meeting, the whole country is about Rigiji. You cannot talk a man, everybody is talking about a man who is nothing, who has no influence, who is not a leader. How come? The president himself called a press conference to discuss me. All his people discuss me every day. If you look at the headlines, they just talk about Rigiji. Because Rigiji is a leader. He's a movement. He has people behind him in millions. We are business people in the mountain. We are commercial people. Our relationship with the president going forward is transactional, is commercial. And it is him to determine that relationship for now. How does he want to relate with the people of the mountain? There is only one thing that is not transactional in the mountain, the vote. When he went to the mountain, if he was a man enough, why didn't he talk about me anywhere in any meeting? Why didn't he start in Kirinyaga or in Embu and say Rigathi Gachagua is a tribalist? He wouldn't, because the people know when you say Rigathi Gachagua is tribal, you are actually fighting the people of the mountain. Yeah. Must go is a clarion call for preparing people for the general election. Moi must go was there. Moi was not even a candidate in 2002, but it was there because he had a project. That did not lead to any unconstitutional change of government. Farouk Kibet is not a small man. He is a co-president in this country. Farouk Kibet runs the government. Everybody reports to him. The Inspector General of Police, the head of public service, cabinet ministers. William Ruto issues instructions to cabinet ministers tremble at his very sight. So, Farouk Kibet wanted to give instructions to Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua was elected by the people of Kenya alongside William Ruto. There is no way I would have allowed Farouk Kibet to give instructions to me. William Ruto is a pathological liar. He said, I will not allow my deputy to be disrespected, particularly by junior staff. Disrespected or humiliated, and I've committed myself in writing. That is what exactly he did. These people he's saying I was fighting, he's the one who was sending them to disrespect me. And you know, they would come from his chopper, they abuse me. They are standing on top of his vehicle, they abuse me. You know? He said that when he becomes president, he'll give free diapers to the people of Kenya. Nothing. He said he'll supply gas cylinders to every home. He has not. He said he'll put money into people's pocket. He came and took the little that was there and took it to housing. He said there will be no abductions and extrajudicial killings. It is happening. Somebody has just sent me a text I saw during break from Rogoro Ward saying that they were amused by President William Ruto and lies, because when he spoke, he said that he is the one who built the road to Amonyoro. And somebody had just said, to the people, they are just laughing. He's such a liar. That road from a place called Maroa, Gatunganga, State Lodge, Kiamariga, Karandi, Wawambui, Wamonyoro, Irori, Mukavuru, was funded by President Uhuru Kenyatta in the year 2019. I commissioned that road in the year 2020. And that road was constructed long before William Ruto was elected president. So the people of Wamonyoro and the people of Ruguru are saying he's such a great liar, and he should be doing his homework before he lies to people, because anytime they see him there, and I say, Maile Mutu ni muongo sana. I told him, Mr. President, I am a father. I am a Christian. Just the way we are killing our children here through abductions, I cannot be party. He said, wewe Rigathi umekuwa mjeuri. I am instructing you to sign a letter here to invite a vice president of a country. You say you cannot. I said, I won't. This man has international sanctions against him. This is a man who is butchered, Mr. President. I'm a Christian. Stood down. And then he told me, well, Taniona. I am tired of you. You are a very difficult character. You are the worst mistake I've made in my 35 years of politics. I regret having nominated you as my deputy for the deaths occurring in the Sudan. The real commander of RSF is not Hemeti, it's William Ruto, because for a movement to succeed, it needs money. The money from gold is being cleaned through Kenya to buy arms, to go and kill women and children.
And you know my next question would be to substantiate these claims.
But I'm saying This guy was here, his movement was here the other day.
That's in the public.
Listen, no, I'm asking you. This man is international sanctions against him for genocide.
True.
He has been given a safe haven in Nairobi. He was here forming a government in KICC. That cannot happen without William Ruto. I was deputy president.
Okay.
I know what goes on in this country. I have a lot of information. Even today, when I'm out of government, I have serious networks within this administration. There is nothing that goes on that I don't know.
Okay.
As the chairman of the East African community, William Ruto cannot solve any problem in this region because he is an interested party because of commercial interest. And that is why you found that our embassy in Kinshasa was attacked by the people of that country because of our involvement, in the internal affairs of that country and involvement with the rebel movement against a legally established government.
Right.
So these are things that the president and I were disagreeing from time to time. Because I told him, again, people from foreign affairs came to see me. I went to see him. Again, he really told me off, and told me to keep off foreign affairs and leave it to him and the Minister for Foreign Affairs. I said, Mr. President, this has to do with the stability of our region. So I want to say to us, the international community, to put an eye on this country. We are not going to have peace and security in this region unless the reigning on the impunity of William Ruto and his appetite for commercial ventures. Nobody else can face him. And that is why he had to get rid of me, because I was becoming an irritant. Every time there are issues, I raise it with him.
Okay.
And
where's evidence? At the end of the day, I'm a journalist, so I'll have to try and
you need to dig a little bit further. I've given you the angle. You need to do a bit more investigative journalism, and you'll come and tell me what I'm telling you is the truth.
Okay, so in retrospect, because you seem to corroborate with what the former CS Justin Muturi said in an interview last week Friday, if I'm not wrong, where he said the president is irredeemably corrupt and is unfit to lead this nation. So from where you see it, how much has Kenya lost due to these dealings by the head of state?
Well, Kenya has lost 38 billion shillings to Italians on Arol, Kimorel, and Itare Dam. President William Ruto says Muturi is incompetent. That is a lie. Muturi was a very competent Attorney General. He's a patriot. He is a hero to this country. President William Ruto had serious problems with Justin Muturi because he would never agree to give a nod to corrupt deals. Justin Muturi was ordered by President William Ruto to sanitize Arol and Kimorel, and he refused. And the president said the case between us and the Italians, we had a very weak case. And he told the president, no, we have a very strong case because these people never delivered anything, but they were paid 38 billion shillings. So we have a strong case. He said no. The criminal charges against those people were withdrawn by Nurdin Haja's DPP. And the president picked a team without Muturi to go to Italy, headed by his private lawyer Adil as chairman, Nurdin Haji and Kennedy Ogeto, to go and sanitize Arol and Kimorel. And that happened. And Muturi was not involved, and the president was very bitter with Muturi. In fact, I heard him saying Muturi is incompetent. One day, when he wanted to please the Muslims of their issues, he says Muturi is incompetent. But when he was in Embu in Kanywambora, to please the people of Embu, he says something different. He says, asanteni sana watu wa Kanywambora kwa kunipatia huyu Justin Muturi. Amenisukumia sana mambo ya sheria. Sasa nimempatia kazi ya kunisimamia wafanyikazi wote nchini Kenya. He was saying how competent he is. The fight between William Ruto and Justin Muturi is one, he refused to okay corruption. He refused to own bills that he has not originated, and he refused to be twisted by the president to allow money laundering in the country. And to me, again, the president is calling him incompetent, the way he called me incompetent, the way he called Uhuru Kenyatta incompetent. Anybody who doesn't agree to what he is saying is incompetent. The same with the Mithika Linturi. And I had a fight with the president myself, because when Mithika Linturi was appointed Minister of Agriculture, the president and Felix Koskei were running the ministry. Mithika Linturi was just a flower girl in the ministry. And I can tell you, they wanted to fix him about fertilizer. All fertilizer is procured at State House. So when the report came from KEBS, saying this fertilizer is bad, President William Ruto ordered Linturi to allow the fertilizers to come in and forget about it. Then they wanted to arrest Linturi and take him to court for this fertilizer. It is here. And I told the president, you cannot do that. You know, Bideka Linturi is innocent. It is yourself and Felix Kosgei who are buying fertilizer in State House. In fact, as we speak today, I want to tell the Kenyan farmers, today there is no fertilizer and the long rains are here. Because fertilizer has not been prepared. Because it's the president himself who does it. He decides from who at what price. The government of Kenya, led by President William Ruto, is a transactional government. It's a commercial government. When we came in, the president was very mad that e-citizen is in private hands. After some time, shares exchanged hands, and the president ordered that all government services be onboarded. He stopped talking about the private people. 70% of e-citizen is owned by private people. Your guess is as good as mine. Ask Adil, he'll tell you who are the owners of e-citizen, who is the owner of Fuliza. Today, they're
the ones benefiting from that 50 shillings.
That 50, any time you use e-citizen, the Madrins at State House have your money. This government is a money-making machine. And there is no national interest. There is no concern for the people of Kenya. The people of the mountain are very intelligent people. Okay. And they don't fight, they don't shout, they don't throw stones. They are just nice guys. And we agreed that we have a political problem with the president, but we also are very practical to acknowledge that he is president until 2027, God willing. And we must relate with him one way or another. And in our own way, because we know how to converse. We don't do it in public meetings. We are very silent. There was an agreement and understanding among the mountain people that our relationship with the president going forward is commercial and transactional. And the people of the mountain are business people. We said if anybody has some money to bring to us, we take it, because even when you own a shop, you don't have to like your customer. What is important is if he has money to pay you. So we ask our people, come out and welcome the president. You saw the number of buses, the mobilization, the border 3,000 each, the dancing women 2,000 each. The president is happy. He got good photographs, he got good options. And that is fine. He's welcome again in August. And if possible, let him come in December. We need him because we need money for Christmas. I'm not fighting with the president for the control of the mountain. I heard he said he's the king of the mountain. Let him be the king of the mountain. And if he's the king of the mountain, he did not go around. He should have just used his chopper, go to the Lenana Peak and pronounce himself as king. If he wants to be the king of the mountain, let him proceed. If he believes he's the kingpin of the mountain, so be it, as we are not bothered. All we know is that we have agreed on how to go politically. The people of the mountain have told me that we made a mistake to go to an election without our own political party. They have said that will never happen again. They have asked me to form a political party, a national one, which I have done, which will be announcing in May. That is what they have told me. Again, they have told me that they will not agree to be divided, and our vote will go to one basket. That has been agreed. Again, they have told me they are aware the president wanted to isolate us, and that is why he had a meeting in Mount Elgon, where the MP for Ebuye announced where the president was there, that they will unite everybody to isolate the mountain. They are aware of that, and therefore they have told me to look for friends, and I'm doing that, and things are going on very well. Nyandarua is the home of the Mau Mau struggle. Lari is where we had the Lari massacre. Githunguri is where the independent church started. That's where this struggle for independence started. The people of the mountain had a big problem with the traitors and collaborators than the white colonialists, because the collaborators and the traitors made them suffer a lot. The people of Nyandarua and Lari and Githunguri cannot stand traitors. That is why you saw that reaction. Man can do what he wants with his money. He could have put the money in a big heap in State House and talk to it, or decide to take it to the people, give them, and put them together and talk to them. That is his decision. Okay. And he can come to the mountain. The meetings will be as big as he wants, depending on how much he wants to invest. The quality of the meeting, the clapping and the cheering will be determined by what he wants to invest. We are business people in the mountain. We are commercial people. Our relationship with the president going forward is transactional, is commercial. And it is him to determine that relationship for now. How does he want to relate with the people of the mountain? There is only one thing that is not transactional in the mountain, the vote. I have people right inside government, in police, DCI, National Intelligence Service.
And that's okay, but...
President William Ruto used to say that there are no fools in this country. I don't know at what point he changed his mind. He thinks they are fools. You cannot fool all the people all the time. People know that the government is organizing violence against me, and the people who are unhappy with what is happening in the country. But I want to say we are not intimidated. We are not cowed. We'll stand firm. I have asked our people not to retaliate, but the young people are telling me now this is too much. This reminds us of Kiambaa Church. The impunity. When goons, when 35 women and their children were in a church in Kiambaa, and goons went and touched them inside the church. And when they tried to save the children, they say, let us die, but let the children not die. They removed the children through the window. These goons took the children back to the church and burnt them. The minute you said goons inside the church to kill Rigathi Gachagua and to kill Christians, you automatically bring the memories of Kiambaa Church and what these people did to our community in Kiambaa. Now that the government has captured the opposition, now that the government has captured parliament, the church must speak for the people, because we serve the same people. Let the church speak. Let the church be allowed an opportunity to comment on what is going on. Let us not, persecute the church. Must go is a clarion call for preparing people for the general election. Moi must go was there. Moi was not even a candidate in 2002, but it was there because he had a project. That did not lead to any unconstitutional change of government. I think people are just gearing towards the election, and our constitution guarantees the freedom of expression, freedom of speech. If you feel dissatisfied with the performance of William Ruto and you say he must go, you have committed no crime. You will be able also to express yourself on the ballot. What the CDF said is very unfortunate. The military is most trusted institution in this country, and our military is very professional and is respected. That is why you find we have been called to oversee peace missions by the UN, by the AU across the world for years. Because our military has been very, very professional. That's why you find even when the military came to the streets during the Gen Z were marching with the soldiers because they have confidence in them. I don't want to advise General Kahariri, but having worked with the President William Ruto, I want to tell him to be very careful. I saw the way IG Japheth Koome was set up by President William Ruto during the Gen Z protest. He set him up, go and say this, go and say that, go and say this. And then when there was too much pressure, he called him in my presence and asked him to resign. Probably the general has been told, go and say this so that there is public backlash, and probably prepare a way for his exit. I am not sure, but let him be careful because I know President William Ruto. IG Kanja spoke in Kikuyu in Nyeri asking people whether they are happy that the president has come. He has no business as IG to go and market the president in Nyeri or elsewhere. That is not his work. And even if he was here to keep security, that also begs a question. How insecure was the president that he needed the IG himself to be in charge of his security detail? It has never happened. I see the regional commanders take charge of the president when he is in a region together with the presidential escort commander. I've never seen an IG take over the security of the president unless you tell me that the president was having a serious challenge in Nyeri. What I know is that Douglas Kaja was tricked by Mr. Yesa to come on top of the vehicle and speak so that they can set him up for public backlash, so that if they want to exit him, they have somewhere to start. William Ruto is a master of false narratives. He created a narrative against Uhuru Kenyatta that he's a drunkard. He created a narrative against Raila Odinga that he's a witch doctor. He is creating a narrative against Rigathi Gachagua that he's a tribalist. When I fought for Gen Zs, they were not from the Mount Kenya. You know, when I went to northeastern Kenya to give food during El Nino, those people were not from Mount Kenya. I speak for the Kenyan people, but I also come from somewhere. And there are some people who expect me to stand up for them. And again, my brother, when these people go to meetings, they say that they'll gang up and isolate the people of Mount Kenya. What do they expect me to do? They expect me just to keep quiet and let them isolate Mount Kenya? When the president is purging the people from the community, they expect me just to keep quiet and let him purge the people from the community so that I'm seen to be national? I am a nationalist. When I talk about the payslip holders, when I say the president has raided the payslip and a new administration that I'll be part of will restore the dignity of the payslip, is that about Mount Kenya? When I say Kenyans are being overtaxed, is that about Mount Kenya? You know, this brand of trying to brand me as a tribalist is William Ruto. You saw him trying with the Ed and Duale, trying to create a wedge between me and the Somali community. Simply because I said, Nuruddin Haji is not doing his job properly. They try to create a narrative that I have something against the Somali. Let me tell you, the Somali community and our people are one. We are business people. If you go from Thika here, Sagana, Karatina, Narumoro, Nyanyuki, Meru, the Somalis are everywhere. If you go to Isili here, the Kikuyu community and the Somali community are one. And we work together. And myself, I do business with the Somali community, you know. And there is no way the people of Mount Kenya can survive business-wise without the Somali community. But simply because I talked about one individual, they try to say that I have something against the Somali community. I'd like to assure the people of the Somali community, yourselves and the people of the mountain are one. We are business people. And by the way, the Somali community are good people. You know, they are trusted. You don't even have to write anything. These things I had agreed with William Ruto. If I had agreed with the Somali, I would not be here in this position today. They would keep their word. So that narrative of trying to say I'm tribal is William Ruto. And that is why you see, when he went to the mountain, if he was a man enough, why didn't he talk about me anywhere in any meeting? Why didn't he start in Kirinyaga or in Embu and say Rigathi Gachagua is a tribalist? He wouldn't, because the people know when you say Rigathi Gachagua is tribal, you are actually fighting the people of the mountain.
All right.
How come President William Ruto is cheating the people of the mountain that he has a 20-year friendship with them, yet he superintended over a meeting where the Honorable Wanyama said the people of the mountain should be isolated? William Ruto was the last speaker. How come he did not admonish him and say that is wrong? He went to a place there in Laikipia West to open a classroom done by KDF. But the cost of going there, 9 choppers at a cost of about 4 million shillings, more than 200 vehicles. You know, the personnel, the per diem, the whole thing would have put up about 5 schools. You know, people are just looking at him. You know, he went to Nyanyuki, market, and the market was closed from morning to evening to wait for him. What used to happen during the Moi era. And he was not coming to do anything because he's not an engineer, he's not an architect, he's not anything. You know, when he went to Meru, to open a sewage that he had opened 7 years ago in Maua, instead of going to Nithi Bridge and giving a practical solution, because that is what he promised the people.
Well, he said before the 2027 election it will be done.
But he had said 6 months. And he should stop telling people about to have faith in him. He made promises. You know, if somebody, lets you money and you say you pay by this date, if for whatever reason you cannot pay by that date, you give him a good reason. But you don't get irritated when he says you are dishonest. You know, William Ruto is saying that we should believe in faith, that since he said you do it, we should have faith that you do it. No. Leadership is about being pragmatic, is being practical. He is the one who set the timelines. Nobody set for him. When he said he would do Nithi Bridge within 6 months of being sworn in, he's the one who gave that commitment. He should have gone back to the people of Meru and said, hey, I made a commitment for 6 months. It's not possible. Now he's saying he will do it before 2027. What the people are saying, not just in the mountain, but across the whole country, they are saying, don't say it anymore, just do it. And they are saying, do what Mwai Kibaki did. Don't come to inspect projects. Don't come to launch. Do it, finish, then come. Mike Kibaki, when he did Thika Road, and it was done, you know what he did? He just drove through the road to there. Yeah, no fanfare, nothing. Just to see and enjoy that the road is smooth. Let all these projects be finished. Yeah. Then when they are finished, he can come and launch. You know, he went to a place to launch, 4 posts in a pickup. You know, I mean, what is that? Transformers. Those are things that the assistant county commissioner can do. Whatever little money that is available, people want to see something. People are being overtaxed, but they are not seeing a corresponding service that will match the taxation. People ordinarily wouldn't have a problem with paying taxes, but people would also want to see their taxes are being used appropriately. Okay. So when they see you with 9 choppers going to open 1 classroom in Laikipia West, people feel very offended, extremely offended. You know, when they find money meant for taxes is being used to bribe people to attend meetings, people get very offended. But they still take the money because the money is already out there. In any case, even if they don't take it, it will be taken by somebody else. But taxpayers are very, very, very offended by what is happening, the misuse and misappropriation of resources that are meant for development, that are meant to improve their lives. Okay. I don't have to run for office. I have a responsibility to unite my people, to make them relevant in the national political discourse. I have a responsibility to craft a political party, a political vehicle for the region so that they can participate in a meaningful manner in a general election. I have a responsibility to mentor young people, which I'm doing. I don't have to be in office. You know, my friend, you know, many people think about positional leadership. You know, leadership is defined in many aspects. You have positional leadership, you have charismatic leadership, you have traditional leadership, you have effective leadership. I am in effective leadership. Today, how do you explain I'm not the Deputy President? I hold no office in this country. Every talk, in every meeting, the whole country is about Rigiji. You cannot talk a man, everybody is talking about a man who is nothing, who has no influence, who is not a leader. How come? The president himself called a press conference to discuss me. All his people discuss me every day. If you look at the headlines, they just talk about Rigiji. Because Rigiji is a leader. He is a movement. He has people behind him in millions. And whether he has a position or not, is that he is a leader, because a leader is somebody who has followers. And if I had no followers, nobody would be bothered about me. That is why they disrupt my meetings, because they don't want me to talk to people. Because they know, one, I'm persuasive. Okay. I have powers of oratory. I have a way with the people. I have the language with the people. I am convincing. And I have effective leadership. And I carry people along with me. William Ruto is a pathological liar. He said, I will not allow my deputy to be disrespected, particularly by junior staff. Disrespected or humiliated, and I've committed myself in writing. That is what exactly he did. These people he's saying I was fighting, he's the one who was sending them to disrespect me. And you know, they would come from his chopper, they abuse me. They are standing on top of his vehicle, they abuse me. You know?
He's not getting rid of...
You cannot get a man as minister and make him an advisor. That is a joke. You know, it's like chasing away a wife and making him a maid in your house. You know, it's very disrespectful. Okay. But I want to say, yes, Moses Kuria, you cannot replace Moses Kuria with William Kabogo. It's an insult to the people of Kiambu and the people of the mountain. Moses Kuria is a brilliant mind, and I can tell you this idea of KIPES that Moses Kuria came up with. Had the president allowed him to stay as minister for investment, trade, and industry, today, those things will be working. And we will not be having the situation we are having with avocado, with carrots, with potatoes. Yeah? But because he's a brilliant mind, yeah, he had to be edged out and given some peripheral job there who advised me on this and that. And Moses Kuria cannot advise William Ruto. William Ruto takes no advice. William Ruto advises William Ruto. When you hear that you are presidential advisor, you just get a salary and know what to do. He cannot listen to any advice from anybody. What is the point of us going to help the people of Haiti when we have security challenges in this country? We have problems in the North Rift. We have problems in Wajir. We have problems in Mandera. We don't have enough policemen, yeah, to help our security situation in the country. Again, We voted funds in the National Treasury when most of our police stations have no vehicles, when our officers have no uniform. What is the point of trying to look so international to take our force to take our officers to Haiti when we have serious challenges in the country? And I think the president told us that time that the whole thing will be done by the United Nations. But I still find them appropriating money in the budget for Haiti. But he gave us a promise that we are not going to spend a cent. But I still had a problem. I told him, Mr. President, even if we are not going to spend a cent, I would rather these officers help our people here in the country because we have serious security challenges and we don't have enough officers. The people of Kenya knows between Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto who lies. It's obvious. Instances are there. All the things he has said he'll do. He said that when he becomes president, he'll give free diapers to the people of Kenya. Nothing. He said he'll supply gas cylinders to every home. He has not. He said he'll put money into people's pocket. He came and took the little that was there and took it to housing. He said there will be no abductions and extrajudicial killings. It is happening. He said he'll not interfere with the relations of friendly countries. He's interfering. He said he will not use the criminal justice system to manage politics. He's using DCI to harass Kadhoni Wamuchomba, to harass everybody. The other day, they were here in the Nyayo National Stadium. The people from the mountain don't go to watch football. It's the people of Western, the people of Nyanza. The whole stadium was just saying Ruto must go. You saw the other day in Kisii when the Shabana meeting. If you go to all these nightclubs at night, in Kisumu, in Nakuru, in Mombasa, the chant is the same. And there's nothing the general can do. You just let the Kenya people be, allow them to express themselves. And the way the president said, and if he means it is good for the country, he said that he'll subject himself to a test. And if the people think he has done a good job, they allow him to continue. If they think he hasn't done a good job, he'll go back and do farming. Mr. President, that is the spirit. So don't abduct young people when they say you should go, leave them alone. Because you have said yourself that you are willing to go home if you don't perform well. So these people who are criticizing you, let them be. William Ruto picked me as running mate because of my mobilization skills and my capacity to mobilize the resources. Everybody knows I'm not a poor man. I was in a lot of trouble with the fourth administration because of funding William Ruto. The fourth administration froze my accounts so that I stopped funding William Ruto. The fourth administration blocked all my businesses so that I stopped giving money to William Ruto. I put serious money into his campaign. I am not the kind of man to go asking William Ruto to give me any money. In any case, let me ask you a question. William Ruto should make up his mind how much money I'm supposed to have asked. His chief propagandist, Dennis Itumbi, wrote, and it's there, I have a copy, I will give it to you.
I remember, yes.
That I'm asking for 6.5 billion. Okay?
Sure.
His Mr. Fix-It, Kimani Ichung'wah, went to Europe in an interview and said, I'm asking for 8 billion. William Ruto says, I'm asking for 10 billion. Between his Mr. Fix-It and his chief propagandist and William Ruto, can't they sit down and agree the figure that Rigathi Gachagua is supposed to have asked for? So, I want to explain to you that there is nothing like that. It was just a narrative he wanted to bring to the mountain because he needed to explain to them. Because he committed himself that he would never humiliate his deputy. He went beyond "God afraid of me." He needed something to tell the people of the mountain. But of course, everybody knows it's a lie. Because if that was true, it should have come in the impeachment. When he said I should be his running mate in Karen on May 15th. He had this to say. There were so many other instruments. I looked at many things. I looked at what was required of a deputy president. In the end, we all settled as a team on Gachagua because he's an astute debater, a fantastic grassroots mobilizer, a disciplined and tireless political operative, a successful elected politician and businessman, a principled politician of tremendous resilience and fearless fighter for the right cause, an indefatigable champion. Gachagua is a self-made man, a politician of repute, and a public servant whose sole goal is to help others. Gachagua is a very passionate leader, a people's person. He speaks about the ordinary people and is concerned about matters to do with farmers. What I like about him is his passion for people issues. He's one of those leaders who are passionate about ordinary people. He's a living example of a true hustler. Then the president is here telling the people of the mountain, the man you gave me is a blackmailer. He goes to Western, he says man is a tribalist. He goes to Nyanza, he says this man is a primitive. Give me a break. You are talking to the same people. He says that I was fighting Farouk Kibet. Farouk Kibet is not a small man. He is a co-president in this country. Farouk Kibet runs the government. Everybody reports to him. The Inspector General of Police, the head of public service, cabinet ministers. William Ruto issues instructions to cabinet ministers tremble at his very sight. So, Farouk Kibet wanted to give instructions to Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua was elected by the people of Kenya alongside William Ruto. There is no way I would have allowed Farouk Kibet to give instructions to me. And let me tell you, Rogers, Farouk Kibet was trying to run my office, make appointments for people to come and see me. And initially, I thought it's okay, maybe that's how William Ruto wants us to work, until I learned that Farouk Kibet was collecting money from people to come and see me, and I have nothing to give them in return. And I went and I told the president, Mr. President, I'm your principal assistant. Please, your personal assistant cannot give me instructions. And if you want to give me any instructions, you give them yourself and I obey them to the letter. But you cannot use your PA to order me around. And your PA is taking advantage to make money from people. And I told you, Mr. President, for your information, because I'm your advisor in this matter, I will be failing in my duty if I don't advise you and tell you what is happening.
Okay.
All the people Farouk Kibet is clearing to come and see you, he's collecting money. And there's hue and cry in town. And State House is getting very disrespected because it has become a center of corruption. All appointments of people coming to see you, Kibet is collecting money. And Mr. President, I think you need to check this. But if you want to continue with it, tell him to keep off my office. He is not going to make appointments in my office, and he cannot tell me whom to see. So, and Dennis Itumbi, the chief propagandist for William Ruto. Again, he's not a small man. This government of William Ruto is run by Itumbi and Farouk. This Itumbi, all these statements you see ministers issuing, Dennis who crafts them. He crafts the messages, and you can see even that is language. He gives them to read. And my problem with that so-called small man is that they work in cohort with the president. And he hangs around State House. And if you have a discussion with the president and he doesn't like the way it is going, he sends him a text, and Dennis walks into the president's office and says, Mr. President, you are late for the next meeting. And the president brings the meeting to a closure. I had not realized that until I studied, I saw there is a pattern. And any time I had many issues with the president that were not pleasant, I would face him and say, this is not right, this is not good, and I would win the argument, and he doesn't like it, and he would like to bring a meeting to a closure. Somehow Dennis walks in, and I saw a pattern. So one day, we were launching, the president was going to sign, he was going to sign the housing levy law, bill into law. And I was with the president in his office, the two of us, and I had a very hot conversation with him. And I was telling Mr. President, Kenyans are not interested in affordable housing. And people are very unhappy about the taxation. And Mr. President, only a fool doesn't change his mind. Let us relook this thing. And please, from the feedback I'm getting from the ground. And Mr. President, I was elected with you. I mean, it's my job to tell you what the people are saying. And since we are elected together on a joint ticket, when I see we are going down and I don't tell you, it is not fair. Then when we were just continuing, I think he took a phone, Itumbi comes. And he said, Mr. President, we need to go. And I told Itumbi, my friend, next time you interrupt me when I'm with the president, you know who I am. Get off. I am the Deputy President. I was elected with the President here. Who are you to come and interrupt our discussion? Do you know what we are discussing? The President just looked and said, I think we go. Okay? So that is how I raised that issue. You know, and I told him, Mr. President, how do you get these people to come and interrupt a meeting with your deputy all the time? So that those are the issues he was saying.
Well noted.
I was fighting with small people.